Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about Demon Slayer Season 3, Episode 10. Unfortunately, we only have one episode left, but let me tell you, this episode was beautiful. Beautiful artwork, beautiful execution, beautiful fighting. This was just a overall fantastic episode of Demon Slayer, and even though I am going to be sad to have to wait for another season again, or possibly another movie, however they plan on doing it, it was really enjoyable watching this episode and definitely worth a rewatch. So we start off with Mitsuri, who the episode is also named after, the Love Hashira, just wrecking the crap out of Upper Rank 4. She is slicing through these giant lizard dragon things, no problem whatsoever. And she is like, yep, I'm going to protect everybody. I am going to defeat you. Let's get this done. And we get some backstory from her throughout the episode. She also gets really, really angry in this scene right here in particular because the demon called her a shameless tramp. And she was like, what, this little kid's calling me a tramp? What the heck? She was like, oh yeah, demons don't always look their age because basically they stay in the age at when they were transformed, kind of like a vampire. You know, you get transformed into a vampire, then you are just stuck as that age for all eternity, or the sun comes up and kills you. Or, you know, someone puts a stake through your heart, chops off your head, whatever. She gets really angry at this. She starts doing all of her love-breathing forms. Some are named after cats, too, so I guess she likes cats. That's my best guess. And she is just beating the crap out of this thing, going right for the neck. However, she does not realize at this point that this hatred, I believe, is the name of this particular clone, who is like a combination of all of the clones, and probably is not going to divide from this point forward, because I feel like obviously she would be able to handle the 4 individual clones fairly easily, being that all of them are weaker than when separated than when combined. But she does not realize that this is not the main clone, or main body, I should say, not main clone, and that cutting off his head is essentially going to do absolutely nothing. So Tanjiro ends up screaming that out to her, but then she gets hit with this ferocious blast attack, if we can actually show it. There we go. Essentially the sound wave that the harpy or bird clone was able to make, he can also make, and he does it right out of his mouth. And it doesn't kill her, it doesn't knock her out. Apparently we learn that she has extremely powerful bone density. Somehow he's able to see it. Or muscle density, sorry, not bone density. Which is why she looks, you know, she looks kind of like a petite, attractive young woman, but at the same time her muscles are super dense, so she's actually super OP, super strong. And then, you know, the Upper Rank 4 is about to kill her, and then we get a nice little flashback of when initially she wanted to get married back when she was 17, but the proposal was turned down by this goofy-looking dude because he was like, I can't imagine my children having the same hair color as you. So she kind of freaked out, and then we get a little, you know, span of when she was younger where she did actually have black hair. She's trying to compare her muscles to her dad's, even though, you know, she's probably like 3 or 4 at this point in time. And then she freaks out her mom by, as like a 3 or 4-year-old, lifting up a 33-pound rock. I can't remember what they said it was for. Maybe it was like a cutting board or something for cooking. But we learned that she's basically always been super strong. The hair color, which we learn at the end of the episode, apparently she has a ferocious appetite. She can eat more than sumo wrestlers. She eats 170 Sakurai, which is like that rose color. Think Sakura's hair color. Rice cakes a day, and apparently because of that, it turned her hair pink. She did it for 8 months straight, and after 8 months, her hair turned pink. Apparently that's where she gets her hair color from, which I thought was really interesting to see, which I did not know, which we learned quite a bit about her in this episode. A lot of backstory for her in this episode. You know, basically they're using her to kind of gamble, fight sumo wrestlers. She's then talking about how, you know, like, I want to be a bride. She's definitely into, you know, I want to be married. I want to have a family. You know, kind of traditional roles. But she realizes that how she is now, a typical guy is not going to want anything to do with her. So she kind of makes herself someone who she isn't. She dyes her hair black. She's, you know, basically she suppresses her appetite. So she's essentially starving herself. And then when she actually gets a marriage proposal, she was like, you know what, I cannot be this fake person for my entire life, so we're not doing this. We're not doing this. So we got a flashback to the fight where Tanjiro was like, we need to protect her. She's the best hope we have. We need to get away. And she's like, oh my god, I messed up. I'm so sorry. I'm a Hashira, and I messed up. I'm so sorry. And she can deflect pretty much every attack this guy, the lightning attacks, the spear attacks, the dragons, minus, obviously, she didn't know about the crazy giant sound wave, which the fact that she isn't currently deaf, and Tanjiro isn't deaf. Tanjiro might be partially deaf after this, because we did see him bleed out of his one ear. So we don't really know what the full damage is. And she basically deflects all of it. No big issues there. Genya is like, oh my god, this woman is perfect. We then go to when she enters the Demon Slayer corpse, and the head basically says, you know, everybody's pretty much just jealous of you. They're angry that you have something that they don't. They don't understand it because it's different, and you are welcomed here with all of your talents. And we know we got to show her saving some people from demons, getting to the rank of Hashira. The snake Hashira here, I cannot remember his name. Iburo? Is it Iburo? Probably butchering that, if I am pronouncing that correctly. He ends up giving her stockings. And she was like, oh my god, I'll treasure him. And he was like, well, don't. And she's like, oh my god, but why? Why would I not treasure these? And he was like, well, because he understands that she is fighting demons. So she was like, they're going to get beat up. They're going to get scratched up. So when you end up ripping them or tearing them, come to me and I'll get you another pair. So I think this is like a little bit of a love connection. I think that's what this is hinting at right here. Because she essentially joined the Demon Slayer Corps to find someone that was either equally as strong as her or stronger, and I don't know what his strength level is. We haven't really seen much about him so far. You know, he's popped up once or twice. But it seems like there might be a little bit of a love connection going on there, but who knows? We'll wait and see for future episodes, see what happens. But they're not really ripped up or tore up. They're just dirty. You know, we kind of get to a shot here of her on the ground. And she's basically saying, I'm going to protect all of you from this thing. It is your job to go find the main body. Because obviously, if she is fighting the upper rank 4 demon, who is extremely powerful, you know, I feel like he is a lot more powerful than upper rank 5. I mean, not to say that Hashira is weak or anything, but I feel like there is definitely a power difference between upper rank 5 and upper rank 4, being that upper rank 5 is already defeated. And of course, one is lower ranked than the other, so it makes sense that there would be some sort of power difference. So she is going to basically just keep the clone with all the attacking abilities at bay, while Tanjiro goes after the main body. Tanjiro, Genya, and Nezuko all go after the main body. And Tanjiro being able to sniff it out, they go find this giant kind of tree cocoon looking thing. They go up of it, starts running away, starts expanding, and then Genya starts eating it. And I'm sitting here like, what is happening? He's eating like a tree, which I guess technically is the demon's flesh. And we finally learn, you know, that the reason Genya has these regenerative abilities and is super powerful and doesn't die when getting stabbed isn't because he's actually a demon. It's because he has the ability to eat demon flesh and then temporarily have their abilities, which that is a really cool ability. So yes, he is nerfed in the fact that he is not able to, you know, use a breathing ability like his brother is. You know, he may or may not ever become a Hashira. I don't see it, you know, him being a Hashira being he can't use a breathing technique. But at the same time, he has the separate technique where if he eats a demon, he essentially becomes one. He can regenerate for a certain period of time. And I can see him playing the long game, because if he has all the abilities of a demon temporarily, you know, except, you know, minus he doesn't die from the sun, he will be able to easily surpass pretty much any demon if he gets a hold of them. So he could fight any demon, bite into their flesh, and then basically just keep up with them until the sun comes up and then they disappear. I mean, he might not be physically strong enough to cut their head off, but very cool ability that we're finally getting some explanation with. Nezuko ends up helping out too, you know, lighting the cocoon on fire. He escapes. He's running away. I'm hoping we get more about his past, because we got a small glimpse of his past saying that, you know, he was a liar and a cheat or something along those lines. He has to take responsibility for his own actions. But he is under the impression that he never lied. And, he was crying. He was like, I'm a weakling. And I was like, I was like, no, he's lying right there. He's saying he's a weakling. I was like, you're an upper rank. You are not weak. You have killed hundreds, if not thousands of people. So stop saying you're a weakling. So there's definitely something where there is not truth to it. And we kind of, we get to see Genya rip a tree out of the ground and throw him at it. And we kind of end off with Nezuko about to kick the crap out of him. So the Tanjiro arrow secret, which we get at the end of this episode, we do get to see Muichiro again, too, so I'm assuming he is alive and well. I assume they wouldn't put him at the end of the episode if he was dead, so he's probably just passed out from defeating Upper Rank 5, which makes perfect sense. So they're talking about the Sakura cakes, and then here's the plate. Genya definitely's got a little bit of a crush on Mitsuri. I mean, Mitsuri's like, thinks that nobody likes her, nobody's going to marry her, but the reality of it is, she gets right in the heart, right in the feelings of quite a few of the guys in the Demon Slayer Corps. Nezuko looks up to her very much so. Muichiro is just like, okay, thanks for the food. Genya is like, oh, yep, heart's pounding on my chest. And, Tanjiro is just being Tanjiro. Nice, respectful young man. But, yes, they call it the final episode, next episode, so there's not going to be an episode 12. Let's see if we can see what the name of it is. Let's see if it plays here for a quick second. I cannot remember. Oh, here it is. I just lost it. Next, the final episode, A Connected Bond, Daybreak, and First Light. That leads me to believe something with the sun. Most likely something with the sun. But this episode, rating-wise, just so I don't go too long, 10 out of 10. Excellent overall episode. Next episode, something with the sun. I love seeing Mitsuri fight. The art was fantastic. Everything was just beautiful in this episode. The fighting style was great. Say what you want about the CGI. Didn't really bother me that much. But there you have it. There it is. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. And as always, have a good one.